Let me ask you something before we begin. Have you ever walked past a building and felt like it was watching you? Not haunted, not abandoned, just wrong. Tonight, I want you to picture one place, one door, one apartment that may not exist fully in our world anymore. And before you decide this is just another urban legend, stay with me. Because this one didn't end when the story stopped being told. Every city has a building like this. Windows like hollow eyes, walls that feel colder than the air around them. But in Isparta, Turkey, there's a legend that doesn't whisper about ghosts. It screams about a tear in reality itself. Now, put yourself in this story. You're a student, young, broke, desperate. You find a flat with rent so cheap it doesn't make sense. Quick question. Would you ask why? Or would you take the keys before someone else does? Because two students did exactly that. Apartment 129. At first, nothing feels wrong until night falls, and the shadows in your room stop obeying the light. They stretch when they shouldn't. They bend toward corners that don't exist. And that's when you realize, this isn't a ghost story. This is a record of a ritual that went so wrong, authorities allegedly sealed the door with lead. Two students, one incantation, and a door that refused to close. It started in 2009. Isparta is known for roses, but something was rotting beneath the scent. Two female university students lived in apartment 129. Their names? Erased. And that should already unsettle you. They weren't partying, they weren't studying. They were obsessed with the Jinn. Not fairy tale genies, not wish givers. In Turkish lore, Jinn are beings of smokeless fire, ancient, tribal, territorial. And these students weren't learning about them, they were trying to invite them in. Neighbors noticed it first. The smell. Sulfur. Wet earth. Tell me, if that smell started leaking under your door, would you knock? Or would you pretend you didn't notice? Then came the sound. Not knocking, a rhythmic thumping. Slow. Heavy. Like a heartbeat that didn't belong to anything human. On a Tuesday night locals still refused to talk about, the screaming started. But listen carefully. Not human. Metal grinding against bone. High-pitched chattering that made people bleed from the ears. When police broke down the door, the apartment was empty, and somehow heavier than if it weren't. Every mirror shattered, glass shards arranged like arrows, pointing toward the center of the living room, toward a spot where the air shimmered. Windows locked from the inside, door deadbolted, no exit, and no students. And here's where it gets worse. Because the apartment didn't calm down, the building began reacting. Localized tremors, only that structure. Only that floor. Residents in apartment 128 reported something they called the visitor. Imagine lying in bed, silent night, then scritch, scritch, scritch. From the wall next to yours, you think it's a rat, until a voice, your voice, whispers from the electrical outlet, "Please, it's so dark in here. Let us back in." Let me stop you right here. If something speaks to you in your own voice, you don't answer, you don't listen, you leave. So what actually happened? To understand apartment 129, you need to understand hoodoo sciences, a forbidden practice, commanding Jinn. The students were allegedly summoning a tribe called the Zuzula. These beings don't wander, they claim. By shattering every mirror, the students broke the purdah, the veil between worlds. In occult theory, mirrors are boundaries. Break them all at once, chant the wrong coordinates of the soul, and you don't open a door. You create a vacuum. The girls didn't leave the apartment. The apartment moved, and they're still inside it, just vibrating at a frequency we can't see anymore. Today, apartment 129 is sealed, reinforced, plated, some say with lead. Urban explorers tried to enter. One viral video from 2016 shows a man touching the door, and the moment his fingers make contact, boom, a sound from inside. The camera lens shatters. No impact, no drop, just pressure. But the worst part, it's not the ghosts, it's the thinning. People nearby report sleep paralysis, night terrors. They see two women standing on balconies at night, faceless, smooth skin where eyes should be. Because the ritual didn't fail, it's still running. Every time we talk about it, every time you imagine it, the gate gets fed. So let me leave you with this. If a rental is too cheap, check the mirrors, listen to the walls, and if something scratches from a room that should be empty, run. Some doors aren't meant to be closed, and some rooms are no longer meant for the living. This has been Noctyra Paradox. Sleep well, if you can.